Lawyers have raised concerns about a recommendation to allow the naming and shaming of child sex offenders. A 900-page report tabled in State Parliament yesterday called for sweeping changes to Victoria's child protection system, and one of the recommendations was for the removal of suppression orders on the names of convicted paedophiles.
After being twice convicted of contempt of court for publicly naming paedophiles, broadcaster Darren Hinch was today feeling vindicated.
Now I've got a new liver and I've got a new life, and thanks to this report I've got new hope. This law will change.
In the report tabled yesterday, Justice Philip Cummins called for the removal of suppression orders from sex offenders' names, saying parents had a right to know if a sex offender is living among them.
I obviously have a lot of sympathy with the broader community and mums and dads out there very concerned about their children. We'll be working through that recommendation.
And the government isn't wasting time in evaluating the potential policy change.
This process will be an urgent one.
But elements of the legal community are unimpressed.
We're interested in protecting the community. We just don't think that name and shame is the way to do that.
The Law Institute of Victoria says removing the suppression provision could see victims unintentionally identified and create more problems for law enforcers.
You might end up finding law enforcement officers having to protect these people. That's not where the focus should be.
Another controversial recommendation in the report is that mandatory reporting of child abuse be extended to more professions, including childcare and social workers. Some in the sector say it would make an already stretched system more sluggish.
Most of the outcome will be about screening out children and missing out on the ones that are in the system waiting for it to be responded to.
And Justice Cummins calls for mandatory reporting to extend to people working in religious institutions, a recommendation welcomed by victims' groups.
We've said for years that that mandatory requirement has to go right to the person of the bishop.
The Catholic Church and Anglican Church are considering the report's recommendations. Stephanie March, ABC News, Melbourne.